Hello everyone, welcome back to the second circle, a Helltaker fan game. Let's go ahead and continue. So today, I kinda wanna go for Zdrada. Let's see how she's doing. In light of recent events, Lucifer has called a house meeting over dinner. Of the demons who are attending, only Melina is missing. You've made extra rare Salisbury steak in hopes of replacating some of the less happy demons, or at least giving them an outlet. The gnashing meat does little to dissuade the Queen of Hell, whose voice cuts through the commotion like a knife. I brought you all together tonight to speak on an important issue. As many of you know now, let me try it again. I brought you all together tonight to speak on an important issue. As many of you now know, Lucifer inclines her head towards Cerberus, who does not meet her gaze. Or in some cases have witnessed firsthand. The former archdemon agreed Mammon has been spotted in the area. Mammon is one of 4 dethroned lords of hell, expelled by Justice and I some 600 years ago. That was back in the good old days. I remember I took on Abaddon, the slothful and winner-take-all Punch-Out. After their defeats, we stripped them of all but their most basic of powers, and threw them out of hell and into the mortal plane. You can't be seriously concerned about Mammon. As far as the Akashic records are concerned, she gave up without a fight at the decisive victory of Justice for Abaddon. If Cerberus and Taker can handle her, surely she poses no credible threat to the rest of us. Cerberus casts a miserable glance your way. Obviously, the rest of the assembled demons have yet to hear the specifics of your ill-fated last encounter with Mammon. On the contrary, the appearance of Mammon has me greatly concerned, more so even than the appearance of the other demon lords. Mammon's a coward, through and through, which means her brashness is backed up by one or more of the other demon lords. But you said that you'd strip their powers away. Even united, how could they harm us? Lucifer shakes her head. Though it pains me to admit it, I do not know. However, their leader, Solanas, has an incredibly wrathful nature. Her spite is not to be underestimated, at any cost. Justice puts a hand on Lucifer's shoulder. The Queen of Hell brushes it off impatiently. Regardless of the practical threat they may pose, I know their goal is to be singular. They want to reclaim what I took from them so long ago. They want the throne of Hell. To rule in brimstone and anarchy as they once did 666 years ago, stopping them is critical if we... Lucifer is cut off by an unnecessarily noisy cough from across the table. Flanked by Cerberus, Zdrada smirks as she stubs out the smoldering butt of her cigarette on her outstretched tongue. Meeting Lucifer's eyes full on, Zdrada speaks her piece. Yeah, we. You keep using that word, but funny thing, I can't really see what this has to do with the rest of us, boss. We're all in this together, Zdrada. Zdrada shoots to her feet, slamming her palms down on the old wooden table. Wrong. This isn't about us. This is about you keeping hold of your power. A couple of sympathetic murmurs, mostly from Cerberus, sound from the rest of the table. It looks like Zdrada's words have struck resonant nerves among the assembled demons. Let's see. Let's hear what she has to say. You sit back in your seat, maybe under pressure from the table. Lucifer will let something slip. Before I took the throne of Hell, there was nothing but anarchy. The 4 demon lords were content to let the rest of Hell churn, A primordial cauldron where only the strong survived. Nobody asked you to come in and take over hell, you know. You and your cohort all thought you were so forward-thinking, but the moment you actually got some power, it all went to your head. Why, you ungrateful whelp. Under my guidance, hell ran like a well-oiled machine. Might was no longer the sole purveyor of right. Me and my sister's life weren't easier under your oh-so-benevolent rule. Far from empowering us, your insurrection stripped me of my only method for taking care of those around me. Zdrada sits back in a chair, arms folded defiantly. And now you want us to act as your shields? I ain't deaf, and I've heard the stories about your ascent to the throne. Let me assure you, I ain't planning on falling on any blade meant for you. Fuck that, and fuck you. I don't take orders from falling despots. Lucifer takes a deep breath. Turning away from Zdrada, she addresses the table at large. Assemble, demons. Leave the room. I wish to speak in private with Zdrada. Cerberus moves to protest, but is quickly silenced by the combined efforts of judgment and justice. Nodding to Lucifer, Justice sees the other demons exit the room, before squeezing your shoulder reassuringly. Try to keep him from throwing down the kitchen, okay? It's my night to do a washing up. Leaving you feeling rather drastically underprepared for what is about to happen, Justice leaves the room, closing the door behind her. Taking a deep breath, Lucifer addresses her staunch critic. It appears you still have yet to learn humility in the presence of your social betters. Seeing as we have a common cause, I'm willing to let this slide this once. In exchange, you shall... With a viper quick sweep of her hand, Zdrada hurls her glass of wine at Lucifer's head. Fortunately for both parties, her aim is off course. The glass misses Lucifer by a good 6 inches before hitting the far wall, exploding to crystalline shards. I shall do as I always have, exactly what I please. Lucifer jumps to her feet, her face burning red. Insubordination. If we were back in hell, I'd have you publicly flayed for such arrogance. Zdrada barks a harsh laugh. Her shoulders are tensed, ready to launch another assault if Lucifer shows any signs of making good on her threat. Don't threaten me with a good time, boss. Besides, you can't really do shit to command us in this world. The others may follow you out of some kind of sycophantic loyalty, but this here gal knows what she's worth. And I ain't really looking to be your bottom bitch here on Earth. That's why you sent them away, ain't it? You don't want them to see that you can't back up your threats outside of hell. You're clinging on to hope that either their fear or respect of you is enough to keep them in line. Well, I got bad news for you, Queenie. We're running dry on both accounts. Stop! By my authority as Queen of Goddamn Hell, I command you to stay! Zdrada hesitates by the door, poised to leave. Shrugging, she turns around to launch one acerbic barb at Lucifer before turning once more and departing. Or what? If you could have stopped me, you'd have done so already. Ciao, losers. Silence reigns for a full minute in the room. Lucifer does not meet your gaze, and she's clenching her hands so tightly her knuckles have gone white. Lucy, don't worry. Ah! In a single feral motion, Lucifer pursues her as her hand upwards, bringing them crashing down onto the table with terrible force. Cracks radiate outwards from the impact, their sturdy wooden table no match for Lucifer's temper. Still breathing heavily, Lucifer screws her eyes shut. Slowly, over the course of the next few moments, she pulls herself together, her breathing slows, her hands unclench, eventually her eyes once again open, still seething with repressed frustration. When the words finally returned her, they come slowly, barely making it through her tightly clenched teeth. Impulsive as always. That woman still thinks her Jen is the only one that matters. Remind me again why you decided to bring her along. Let's see. Let's just placate her. I'm not entirely sure what goes through her head half the time. She never shares her internal strife. Lucifer nods, finishing the thought. Unless she can inflict it upon those around her. A fact her sisters learned only too well. Still, this is excessive, even for her. I can only wonder what's causing her to lash out like this. Truth be told, at any other point, it wouldn't concern me. However, recent events have caused me to evaluate my priorities. Are you talking about the existence of other demons on Earth? Indeed. We need to be aware of possible attempts to divide us. And though it pains me to admit it, we need Zdrada on our side if it comes to blows. We're in agreement then. She needs to be brought around. I'll go talk with her and learn what I can. Perhaps there's more to her current state than we realize. These were steep as her fingers, peering over them and across the table at you. It's not only Zdrada. We need to close ranks. And a fondness for you seems to be the only thing we all have in common. If the four are seeking to hurt me, they'll by extension be looking to hurt you. I'll see what I can do. Time is of the essence. I'll keep the rest of the girls busy so they won't interfere with your talk with Zdrada, whenever you choose to have it. Let's talk to Zdrada now. Might as well tackle the largest problem first. I'll head out to talk to Zdrada. Pausing only to place your dishes into the dishwasher, you once more make your way out to Zdrada's old camper. Stopping your foot from the entrance, you extend your hand and rap politely on the paint-chipped frame of the screen door. Zdrada, you and I need to have a little talk. This time, no answer comes of this disheveled abode. Curious, you peer inside one of the windows. Zdrada is nowhere to be seen, the only sign of her cigarette butt poking out of the overflowing ashtray. Still gleaming and smoking a trail of wispy gray gently upwards to join smoggy miasma that perpetually clouds the roof of Zdrada's living space. Wincing at the squeak the rusty hinges make, you push the door aside and enter the camper. You pick your way over the carpet of knickknacks and rubbish, investigating what little mystery the camper can hold. It doesn't take long before your initial suspicion is confirmed. Zdrada is absent from the camper. You poke around a little more, looking for any clues to her current location, when something catches your eye. A covered object, roughly the size of a small tea kettle, stands at the center of an unusually clear table. Curiosity overcoming you, you turn towards it, reaching for a small sackcloth obscuring the item from your view. Without warning, a horrible screeching sound, like someone cutting through sheet metal with a pair of scissors, thunders throughout the cabin. You throw yourself to the ground, trying in vain to minimize the sound by clapping your hands over your ears. The horrible sound pierces right through your hands as though they weren't even there, lashing with wave after wave of noise. Then as suddenly as it started, the sound disperses, leaving the room in relative quiet. 5 deep marks have been gouged into the window of the camper. The parallel lines have been cut deep into glass, almost as if. With dawn of comprehension, you put your own hand up to the markings comparing them. The cuts mirror your fingers in shape if not in size, confirming your theory someone or something has raked razor-sharp nails down the side of the camper. Out in the darkness, something moves. From the edge of the clearing, a black shape emerges. By now it's now too dark to make clearly out the object, but whatever it is, it suddenly begins moving towards the trailer at breakneck speed. You fumble around the cabin, searching for something, anything to use as a weapon. You pick up a folding chair, and, holding it like a professional wrestler, prepare to brain whatever ravenous monster is about to enter the camper. Zdrada bursts through the door, diving to the ground just in time to avoid your impulsive swing with the chair. Rolling over, she kicks the door closed with one boot, before calling up the frame and sliding the deadbolts into place. She looks up at you, breathing heavily, and gestures at the chair still gripped in your hand. Never would have thought of using a chair for foreplay. You cracked me up, Taker. Zdrada, I'm sorry. I thought you were... Yeah, I figured as much. Which, by the way, is why you currently aren't a pile of cinders joining your ash on my rug. Feeling foolish, you drop the chair. Did you see anything out there? No, but I sure as hell sensed it. Something big's out there, in the woods. I ain't want to shirk from a fight, but... For a second, a rare emotion crosses Zdrada's face. Uncertainty. The expression disappears as quickly as it had arrived, as Zdrada closes her eyes, as if listening intensely. After a moment, she speaks. I don't sense it anymore. Whatever it is gone for now. No point splitting hairs over it. Striding over to the card table, Zdrada plucks a covered object from the surface, sliding it under her bed as she moves to join you on the floor. Offering no explanation, Zdrada lights herself a cigarette, now at ease. So, what brings you out to my home this time? And if you say it's because of Lucifer, fair warning, I'm gonna hurl. I came to see if you're doing alright. Been far more aggressive and, well, Zdrada than usual. Yeah, what can I say? I got a rep to maintain. Which is exactly why I'm here alone. Plausible deniability. No one to corroborate my story, so why don't you spill the beans, Zdrada? What have you been keeping secret all this time? Zdrada looks at you, exuding an emotion you can't quite place. She takes a long drag on a cigarette, puffing out a cloud of smoke before she replies. Fine, you want to help so bad, I ain't about to stop you. But this stays between the two of us. Just so one person in the house hears about this, I'll light Pandemonica and tell her you whack off into her morning coffee. That is the nuclear approach, yes, but I promise. What happens in this trailer stays in this trailer. Satisfied with the answer, Zdrada turns around, rummaging around under her bed for the object she had so recently stowed away. After more than grabbing for it, Zdrada extracts herself from underneath the bed, a small, ugly pot clenched gently between her hands. Inside the pot is a familiar, prickly shape. That's the cactus we got from the gardening center. But I thought Melina threw that away. Zdrada lets out a short hiss of frustration. She did. The two of you went to bed, I went to fish it out from the trash. I mended the pie as best as I could, but... Zdrada turns the pot to catch the moonlight filtering through the shutters. In the light, you can see the cactus is missing a significant portion of its stem. She kept the cactus. I'm not used to seeing Zdrada like this, very sad and calm. I like the music right now, it's super fitting. Yellowed veins, cut off from the water source, run outwards from the mangled base of the spiny plant. I don't think I can fix this. Head lowered in something resembling shame, Zdrada extends her arm, pressing the paw on you. Fix it. Please. I've been trying, but I'm no good at keeping things alive. I must be messing up somehow. But you can save it, right? Gingerly, you take the ill-mended little pot from Zdrada and peer at the plant inside. The little cactus isn't doing too well. The impact from Melina throwing it against the wall had ruptured its stem, nearly cutting it into two. While both halves were still connected by a thin band of fiber, it was obvious, even to an untrained eye, that the cacti's time on this planet was coming to an end. It's dying. Don't you think I can see that? I tried everything. Everything! Herbal remedies, sunshine, experimental fertilizer. But it just keeps dying. Is it too much to ask for something that'll stay with me? For something that I know won't just up and leave me behind one of those days? His shoulders slump. If I can't even convince this plant that I'm worth sticking around, what am I even doing with you and the rest of the house? Is this really about the plant? Yes? No. Ah! This is so confusing. I'm not used to this sort of self-reflection. The heavy impact startles Zdrada out of her meditation. Both of you turn towards the entrance of the trailer. The door rattles with another thump. That's strange. Lucifer told me she was talking the rest of the girls out of our way. Is there an emergency at the house? You reach for a door, and Zdrada shoots to her feet, her eyes suddenly wide with alarm. Take her, wait! Don't open that! Too late. The door is already partway open by the time you catch what Zdrada is trying to tell you. Your attempts to reseal the door are interrupted by a slender hand forcing its way through the open crack. Gripping the frame, the hand pushes hard. Though you struggle and leverage every bit of your bulk, trying to prevent the door from opening, the effort is like trying to hold back a landslide. Slowly you give ground and eventually surrender the losing battle. Leaping back to Zdrada's side, you prepare yourself as the door opens. On the other side of the door, bathed in moonlight, stands a strange demon. The first thing you notice about her is her size. She's a full head shorter than even Melina, making her the smallest demon you've seen by far. The second thing you notice about her is her horns, rigid and thin. They stick straight up from her skull like skewers, partially making it the height differential. The strange demon smiles an altogether too wide smile, and lightly skips over the door frame. Thanks for finally letting me in. I've been trying to get your attention all night. Who are you? And what are you doing in her house? The demon sneers at you, for lowering your knees and curtsying to Zdrada, her face a porcelain mask of false innocence. I'm Belphegor. My friends call me Bel. That name sounds familiar. Suddenly it clicks. Lucifer mentioned your name. You're one of the post lords of hell. Belphegor wags a finger at you reproachfully. Up. Introduce yourself to lady before you start groveling in her feet, girl man. Who does this brat think she is? Helltaker. The hell is silent. And I'm... Zdrada is cut short by Belphegor, who twirls excitedly on the spot. Zdrada, I know. I used to tune into your fights in television. You were quite the pit brawler back in the day. A girl after my own heart. Really? Thanks? You aren't liking this. Every moment Belphegor spends talking is a moment a trap could be closing around you. Decide to get to the point. Come to deliver some kind of threat then? If that was the case, you should have brought the rest of your cronies. Don't need them. I'm more than enough to take all you guys on. Striding forward, Zdrada leans over, patting the demon on the head as one would a precocious child. You can't lie to us. We know you're just a shell the demon used to be a short stack. So why don't you take this comedy routine and mosey on down the road, Belphegor reaches up and lays a hand across Zdrada's wrist, gripping it loosely. I'll say this once, 'cause I'm nice. Don't make fun of my size. Her fingers tighten and Zdrada winces, before Belphegor gently removes the taller demon's hand from her head. Belphegor beams up at Zdrada as if nothing had just happened. I'm here because I want to offer you the deal of a lifetime. Want a deal to be more Mammonshtick, as the demon agreed. Belphegor's nose wrinkles, as if she just smells something particularly unpleasant. More like the demon being a crybaby loser. Once more, Belphegor plasters a cheery expression on her face, and she resumes her pitch. You're a woman of impulse. Freedom. I like that. Why don't you dump Queen Bitch and the incredible Gorilla Man and come shack up with me instead? Your talents are obviously wasted here, and I really need a strong lieutenant. You need me? Belphegor clasps Zdrada's hand between her own, nodding enthusiastically. Of course, silly. Both of us are way ahead of our time. Both creates indulgent physical, distinctly mortal vices. Have you ever wondered why your magic works so well here? There's no end to the gluttony we can indulge in nowadays. Zdrada. In the flash, Belphegor crossed the distance between you. Grasping your shirt with deceptively powerful hands, Belphegor hoists you off the ground with no apparent difficulty. Quiet, Ape! Let the lady make the decision for herself. Well, our only choice is struggle. Oh, there she's laughing maniacally. I gotta say, the animations are pretty cool. You wriggle like a landed fish, trying to wrench yourself from Belphegor's grasp, and the former Lord of Hell only laughs. A strange chirring noise that reminds you of cicadas in summertime. Looking up at your struggles, Belphegor licks her lips, her smile widening. Oh, Mammon didn't lie. You are pretty cute up close. Good enough to eat, even. Maybe there is room for you back at my place. Depending on what Zdrada chooses, of course. Turning her back on the two of you, Zdrada lights a cigarette with a snap of her fingers, inhaling deeply. The inevitable exhalation of smoke is accompanied by a deep belly laugh. You think you can just waltz in here with your holier-than-thou attitude, manhandle my man, and expect me to just bend over and take it? Sorry, but you must have gotten the wrong memo. I ain't fixing to be anyone's bottom bitch. Threatening Taker won't persuade me either. Man traveled to hell and back, in case you didn't know. So I seriously doubt Pipsqueak like you can threaten him. Belphegor's eyes dilate in sudden fury. Pivoting around on one foot, she cocks back the hand wound into her blazer. Do not call me Pipsqueak. Rolling on the spot, she throws you into the door of the camper. Door rustle hinges snap under the impact, sending both you and the door flying across the backyard. You hit the ground with a thump and roll several times before you manage to arrest your momentum. You manage to get your bearings, and look back at the camper, while Belphegor is peering curiously out at you. Steam is boiling out of Zdrada's hand, I can tell she's seconds away from launching an offensive of her own.
I hope that didn't mash up too badly. I hate taking shards of bone out of my meat.
Eat shit! Flame cloaks Zdrada's hand, collapsing into a small nova in her right palm. Rolling her shoulders, Zdrada swings her arm forwards, sending the ball of flame blazing towards Belphegor.
Aww, protecting your man. How cute.
Raising one hand, the twin-tailed demon intercepts the fireball, while flames cascade from her outstretched fingers, leaving her unharmed by the blow. Smoke billows up from the old dusty carpet.
Whoopsie. You should really be more careful when I'm using fire. It has a tendency to get out of hand.
Even as she speaks, flames begin to spread over the floor, looking for the detritus that covers the camper like 100 hungry tongues. Snatching the potted cactus for free hand, she calls out to where you lay, still crumpled on the grass.
Shit.
Helltaker, where do you keep the fire stick? Head towards you, Zdrada doesn't even have time to react to Belphegor's movements. In a single, blazingly fast motion, the little demon delivers a vicious sucker punch to Zdrada's ribs. The impact snaps out a concussive blast, and Zdrada is sent flying out of her home, landing in a heap alongside you. The flames has reached the currents, snaking the ancient fabric and filling the little mobile home with smoke. In front of the flames' eyes aglow, steps Belphegor, clutching something in her hand.
Oh boy, that's pretty creepy.
As she stalks towards you, ashen and white hair silhouetted against the inferno the camper has become, she sings to herself.
Our little taker, gonna meet your maker. A wonderful treat for Belle to eat.
Kneeling down, Belphegor picks you up by your hair, raising your condition with a practiced eye.
Normally I prefer my snacks post coitus, but you don't look like you're in shape to put on a good show.
Her mouth gapes wide, revealing rows upon rows of razor-pointed teeth.
Bon appetit.
Belle, hold on a minute. At the sound of voice, Belphegor growls in irritation. Turning from you, she turns back to address a familiar figure lounging against the burning trailer.
Oh, the weakling wants to step in and stop me from having my fun. You're welcome to come try it, Mammon.
We have new orders from the boss. She says the man might be useful in negotiations. He's off limits, Belle. At least for now. Belphegor relinquishes her grip on your hair, letting gravity carry you none too gently on the ground. Fuming, she spins to face Mammon. Seizing onto her moldy coat, Belphegor hoists the lanky demon into the air in much time same manner she did you.
Your leech is beginning to chafe, Mammon. Let's not forget you caused shots here, Whoa, easy there, comrade of mine. Let's just put Mammon down nice and gentle now, okay? I won't intervene again. You have my word. Please put me down, Belphegor.
Belphegor smiles sweetly at the suspended demon, and you see her knuckles whiten as she tightens her grip.
Groveling? Really now? Have you no pride as a demon? And to think I once considered you an equal.
We can't all be blessed with your remarkably indiscriminate taste, Belphegor. The rest of us prefer quality over quantity.
Is that so? And this revelation comes from a do-nothing loser with no knowledge of either. So I just know I can't be trusted.
Be that as it may, is it really worth pissing Satana's out just for a moment of indulgence? With a snarl, Belphegor drops Mammon to the ground. Turning back to you, for a moment, you think she'll lunge for you to finish the job. Belle eventually appears to assert some manner of control over herself. Smoothing the creases out of her skirt, she turns and walks past Mammon and into the forest.
Nice playing with you, Taker. Mammon, I'm leaving. Play your boring politics if you must.
Mammon takes a step backwards, cringing away from that petite demon as she walks by. Even as Belfgor departs the scene, Mammon's eyes wearily follow her until she disappears out of sight. Bending down, Mammon offers you a hand, pulling you to your feet with little in the way of apparent effort. So suddenly we're all buddy-buddy? Birds start talking fast. The others should be coming home any minute, and you don't want to be here when they arrive. Mammon grins and opens her mouth, presumably to lance you with a nettling retort. But after a moment's thought, she closes it again. She shakes her head, looks you dead in the eye. This isn't how things are supposed to go, enemy mine. Like hell we're intimidated by that malformed little Zdrada's tirade is halted by the hand Mammon forces over her mouth. Kneeling down, the lanky demon shakes her lightly. Are you as dense as you look? Listen, gal, Belle likes you, but if you can't keep your tongue on the leash around her, she's liable to rip it out. Zdrada growls up at the other demon and bites down on her hand, causing Mammon to jerk it away. Ah, fine, on your own head be it then. Massaging her freshly injured hand, Mammon turns to you. Tell Lucifer that if she doesn't give us what's ours, today is just the beginning. She has 1 week to meet our terms, or there'll be hell to pay. That ominous pronouncement, Mammon leaves the scene. Turn to Zdrada. You see her cradling the cactus in her hands. Miraculously, the pot survived the flight from the burning's trailer. However, the plant inside looks even worse for wear. The flickering of the slowly receding fire is casting an unhealthy pallor over the little cactus. We'll save it. Zdrada looks over at you, a glimmer of hope creeping into her eyes. I promise we'll do everything we can to save it. If I have to go back in hell to wrench the soul of that plant from the internal pits, I'll do it. Zdrada gives a small, sad chuckle and wipes her eyes, trying in vain to disguise the moisture building up in them. You're really dumb, you know that? But, thanks. That was sweet. I like seeing Zdrada in a different light. It's a nice change of pace. Anyways, if you want to play this on your own, please check the links down below. And if you want to subscribe for more, well, if you want to see more visual novels, please do so. Anyways, thank you, and take care.